Good evening, and welcome to the Dreary Midnight Podcast. My name is Lisa. My pronouns are she, they.
My name is Celeste. My pronouns are she, her.
And today we are doing a round 2 of Creepypastas with the SCP Foundation.
I love the SCP Foundation. I mean, I don't love that it would theoretically exist, but I love the stories that come out of it.
Let's dive in. Intro music.
Intro music.
So, you've already heard of SCP, which I love.
Well, remember, I was also, listen, we're both tour guides.
Yeah.
I was also that weird kid that just watched YouTube videos about any creepy thing I could find.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I heard about the SCP Foundation from a creator who has since deleted their channel called Kaylee Elise.
I loved Kaylee Elise!
Yeah.
I had never heard of anyone else who had heard of them before. She was great.
Yeah, it was a great channel.
I understand why she deleted it, but also I binge watched all of her videos.
I do wish that she had left at least some of the older stuff up, but totally understandable. She had to step away for health reasons, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
but
no, that was literally what I was thinking of when I said YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So for those of y'all who did not watch Kaylee Elise, the SCP Foundation is kind of a large network of creepypasta. It's like a creepypasta universe. It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and according to the official Wikipedia page, it is a fictional secret organization documented by the collaborative writing wiki project of the same name. Within the website's shared universe, the Foundation is responsible for capturing, containing, and studying various paranormal, supernatural, and other mysterious phenomena unexplained by science. By science? By science.
The silence.
I'm sure the silence would also show up, but that's a Doctor Who thing. So
yeah, exactly. The silence could be an SCP,
I'm sure it is. There's like 4,000 at this point, 5,000. Thousands of SCPs at this point. And so they're known as anomalies or SCPs, these phenomena. And the Foundation's job is also to keep the anomalies' existence hidden from the rest of human society. Mm-hmm. So there are a few different classifications. All of them that are logged come with Foundation classifications.
The way that these SCP stories are written out, it's basically like a log of like an employee who would be writing, oh, this is what this is, instead of like a personal story.
Yeah. The extended universe does have personal stories, but like the main logs are very sort of scientific because it always starts with they're all numbered. If you go to the website itself, it'll say like, hang on. It'll, if I can get to the right link. Yeah. But so I'm going over to the official website. And so it'll say like SCP-018 Super Bowl. But if I click on this link for this one, it'll just say item number whatever, object class this, photo or an image if it's relevant, contain procedures, and a description of the item and possible encounters with it. But it's meant to be sort of a scientific classification type of thing. And they have a few different ratings on safety. According again to what?
The danger level. The danger zone.
God. But again, according to monster.fandom.com/wiki, which I usually would not call a reputable source, but this is an internet-based phenomenon, and so I feel like that would be more reputable. So the class assigned to an object is generally determined by a number of factors, but most importantly, by a combination of its difficulty to be contained, as well as the danger posed to Foundation personnel and humanity at large.
Damn.
So, there are...
Yeah, what are the classifications, Lisa?
So, there are 8 total classifications. The main 3 are safe, Euclid, and Keter. Safe class objects are ones which either are fully and securely contained or whose anomalous effects are completely deactivated within containment. Safe classification, however, does not mean that the object will not pose a threat if released or interacted with.
It just means it's safe for now.
Yeah, safe for now. And they still have protocols in order to remain safe. So Euclid is the most common one that I've seen. They're more dangerous than safe ones, yet they're still pretty easy to contain, and they tend to be more unpredictable and more difficult to research due to their more powerful anomalous effects. But they are generally best left alone and kept under constant observation. And the Keter class is assigned to anomalies that are extremely hostile or can easily harm personnel and other beings. They require extensive containment operations in order to be kept secure. They are the most dangerous ones in Foundation possession and also pose the highest risk for containment breaches. If absolutely necessary, the Foundation will attempt to destroy Keter anomalies once and for all. However, this has great potential for disaster and is only done as a last resort. And then the other 5 are neutralized, which is pretty self-explanatory. The data is archived for later use in case the anomalous properties are regained. Explained is those whose properties have become known in science to a point where they are regarded as normal rather than anomalous. This typically occurs when an SCP that has breached containment is unrecoverable and becomes known to general science, one such anomaly being color itself. Again, with the extended universe of SCP.
That's so fun because that just implies that this used to not be color.
Yeah. And that's an interesting area of sort of creepypasta and the extended SCP universe. Mm-hmm. So next up is Thaumiel, which is perhaps the rarest class. Thaumiel SCPs are those which in fact aid the securing and containment of other SCPs.
Okay.
These SCPs are extremely powerful and very little information is disclosed about them, with most personnel knowing only that they exist. Hymal class is an anomaly that is an SCP that the Foundation does not contain simply because it would not be practical, or keeping it contained will lead to more destruction than letting it go. Typically, these are SCPs that perform some vital function that the public knows of, like one that might control the weather, or an SCP that, when discovered, aided in the containment of another, more dangerous SCP. And then the last one...
a real Hannibal Lecter moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so a Hymal would probably be a Hannibal Lecter type of one. And then the last one is an Apollyon. Remember when we said Keter was the most dangerous class? We lied. And all of these, again, have been quoted from the Monster.net fandom. An Apollyon class anomaly is something that inevitably will lead to mass destruction or even an XK class end of the world scenario. The Foundation has no way of containing or preventing its effects, and most research efforts revolve around finding out how to survive it. Apollyon class objects are extremely rare, and the wiki only have 4 total Apollyons, most of which are debatable canon.
An Apollyon? Yellowstone.
Yeah, basically. So
okay, are those all
that's all of the definitions.
When I was consuming SCP media, there were only the top 3 classifications.
Yeah, I had only heard of Safe, Euclid, and Keter.
Yeah,
and I think
so they must have added all the other ones in the time between.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because in doing some brief research for this, the very first one was created in 2007, which was older than I thought.
Yeah. Because I was watching these in
2016.
Yeah, exactly. 2015.
Yeah. And so I hadn't realized it had been almost 10 years when I was watching those videos. So the very first one created was SCP-173 called The Sculpture.
Are you going to read the first one ever?
Yeah. In addition to being the first one ever caught, SCP-173 was also the first one ever created. It's created on June 22nd, 2007 by 4chan user Moto42, also known as SS Walrus.
June 22nd. When is this video coming out? When is this podcast coming out?
It's scheduled to drop on June 13th. So
Dang.
Almost the anniversary.
So
close. So 4chan was also the start of Slenderman. Also started in 4chan forums.
Yeah.
All right. Item number SCP-173. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Item SCP-173 is to be kept in a locked container at all times. When personnel must enter SCP-173's container, no fewer than 3 may enter at any time, and the door is to be relocked behind them. At all times, 2 persons must maintain direct eye contact with SCP-173 until all personnel have vacated and relocked the container. Description: moved to Site-19-1993. Origin is as of yet unknown. It is constructed from concrete and rebar with traces of Krylon brand's spray paint. SCP-173 is animate and extremely hostile. The object cannot move while within a direct line of sight. Line of sight must not be broken at any time with SCP-173. Personnel assigned to enter container are instructed to alert one another before blinking. Object is reported to attack by snapping the neck at the base of the skull or by strangulation. In the event of an attack, personnel are to observe Class 4 hazardous object containment procedures. Personnel report sounds of scraping stone originating from within the container when no one is present inside. This is considered normal, and any change in this behavior should be reported to the acting HMCL supervisor on duty. The reddish-brown substance on the floor is the combination of feces and blood. Origin of these materials is unknown. The enclosure must be cleaned on a bi-weekly basis. And that's the first one.
Okay. First of all, a lot of things. Okay. 1, not to compare one media to another media, but doesn't this remind you of the angels from Doctor Who?
Yep.
Oh, so creepy.
Yeah, so creepy. All right. I'm going to do a
Secondly-
brief Google. While you're talking, I'm going to Google a bit.
Secondly, the fact that, because I was like, why would they even go in there? But the fact they're like, you have to clean the enclosure, you know, implies that every time, like every 2 to 3 weeks, somebody's risking their life. Also, creepy that it kind of leaves it to the imagination as to what it looks like. Like, it says the materials that it seems to be made out of, but it also doesn't necessarily say how it looks, and it also doesn't seem to have a face or any orifices, and yet there's blood and feces.
So I just looked it up.
Okay.
So again, SCP-173, which is also called the Sculpture.
Yes, that's the first thing that
was posted June 22nd, 2007, and the first Doctor Who episode in which the Weeping Angels showed up apparently aired June 7th, 2007. So there is a possibility that Moto42 was watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Weeping Angels are a phenomenal concept. For those of y'all who never watched Doctor Who.
Literally, I don't care if you've never watched Doctor Who. I don't care if you have no interest in Doctor Who. Just watch that one episode.
Blink is a phenomenal episode.
Yes.
Or don't blink. It's called Blink.
Blink.
Yeah,
so
it's called Blink.
Blink, it doesn't even really have the Doctor in it. You don't have to really know anything about the show. Yeah. Just know that it has to do with time travel and go into it blind.
Yeah.
We're not going to spoil anything.
All right. But it it is this very similar concept that you have to keep eyeballs on it at all times.
Or it'll move.
Like, and it can move like clear across a graveyard or something like that, because that was the original I think that was the original inspiration for it, is that seeing like the weeping angel statues in a graveyard and what happened if they could move on their own.
Also, it is a little jump scary.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you
go into it knowing that fact. Yeah.
If you move and then look back, it's closer to you.
Well, and it's interesting because it seems like this one also has, not to bring up Doctor Who again, but
it's just gonna be a Doctor Who episode.
It is going to be a very Doctor Who episode, I feel like. But the silence.
Yeah.
Because the silence is another creature where you have to keep eyeballs on it at all times.
Or you'll forget.
Because I remember in college seeing an episode about that, and the characters, because like the silence is the threat in the episode, and the characters would keep a tally on their arm, just like in permanent marker or something. And because if you look away, you'll forget about it and not realize. And
so when they were looking at them, they would put a mark on their arm to show that they had seen them that many times. Yeah. Or
to count how many they had seen.
Yeah.
Because there was one scene where there were like 3 or 4, and they're like, okay, I see you, and I see you, and I see you. And so,
I like the way the silence was described, because it was like, do you ever walk into a room and you forget why you walked in there?
Yeah.
It's because you saw the silence.
Yeah. Creepy.
Doctor Who is a fun time travel show, but it also has such great horror concepts in it.
Yeah.
It's like light,
so well done.
It's sci-fi with light horror sometimes. And I think that's great, especially during Tennant's run.
Yeah.
Definitely has a lot of horror elements. So I know the silence was Smith, but
I thought the silence showed up at the end of Tennant. I didn't get too far into Smith, so
I know it played a prominent part in Smith's.
Anyway. So, if you know, let us know.
Hello, Doctor Who fans, chime on.
Yeah.
Back to SCPs.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of that I picked out just for different things.
Yeah.
So
are any of them? Did you stick to like the classic first 3 classifications, or are you delving into like newer ones also?
So I tried to find one from each of the main 3 classifications. I did see 1 or 2 that were for some of the other ones, but time-wise, I don't know if it would work, and I didn't save the links. So, all right. But I'll be linking the main SCP Foundation website if you want to peruse around.
Yeah.
But for a safe object is SCP-005. Object class, safe. It's also called the skeleton key. So, SCP-005, object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-005 poses no immediate risk in any direct sense. Even so, its unique functions require special measures to be taken to restrict access and manipulation of the object. Approval of at least 1 Level 4 personnel is required for the removal of the object from its containment area. Description. In appearance, SCP-005 resembles an ornate key displaying the characteristics of a typical mass-produced key used in the 1920s. The key was discovered when a civilian used it to infiltrate a high-security facility. Oh. SCP-005 seems to have the unique ability to open any and all forms of lock, see Appendix A, be they mechanical or digital, with relative ease. The origin of this ability has yet to be determined. Additional notes, SCP-005 may be used as a replacement for lost security passes, but only under the supervision of at least 1 Level 4 personnel. SCP-005 may not be used for vending machine repairs, opening lockers, or for any personnel's spare home key. Removal of the object from the compound will result in immediate termination. Appendix A. While SCP-005 has been shown to be effective in removing almost any form of locking device, further experiments have shown that efforts to disguise the purpose or identity of a lock have proven at least somewhat successful in defeating SCP-005's ability. In approximately 50% of cases where a volunteer was not able to identify a locking device as such, SCP-005 was not successful in deactivating the device. Due to these results, SCP-005 has been tentatively classed as sentient, and further tests are being run to determine its cognitive abilities. However, there are no results that show any traits that prevent it from being able to identify any particular locking device, only that the aforementioned device has been heavily concealed and disguised.
Okay. Explain. So,
which part?
If the person can't find a lock or a, like...
If a person can't tell it's a lock, half the time SCP-005
But
won't
wouldn't
work.
that be up to the person to, like, stick it in there?
True.
Unless it's, like, a digital lock or something?
In approximately half of cases where a volunteer was not able to identify a locking device as such. So it's more on the volunteer than SCP-005.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the sort of sentience, I think, comes in, at least in 005's ability to tell what its user knows. So if its user knows that it's a lock, or if its user requires entry into some object, and SCP-005 will probably recognize that.
Okay.
But it's not gonna, like, go out and identify a portal to anything.
It's not like a honing device or
Correct.
something.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just the access device.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, I wonder why it doesn't work on, like, personal homes or lockers and stuff.
Oh, no,
like
it does. They said any use for that will result in termination.
Got it.
Because if you're taking it out of the compound, then that's defeating the purpose of having the compound, and it's the whole thing. But
sirens. You live on a busy street.
I do. We're recording as some of the schools are getting out, and it's starting to get into rush hour a little bit. So I think it's going to be we're right by a metro stop. So that's a safe one that's been marked as safe.
Yeah, because it's just a key.
It's just a key. It's really up to the user.
Yeah, somebody else would have to pick it up, and it doesn't seem to have a, like, one ring type thing where it's like calling people to pick it up. Yeah.
Because it really does seem up to the user.
Though the one ring would be in SCP.
I feel like it would be, especially as they get into later, especially as you get into, like, the 3000s. It's a lot.
Yeah, but there's so many cursed objects on here.
That's true. That is true.
Check out Hope Diamond in case you want to hear about
I was trying to find a couple of other ones. Lost my place in my own
Take your
notes.
time.
All right, so one of my favorites / the first one that I had heard from Kaylee release.
So then I heard it too.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It is called their stairwell. SCP-087. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-087 is located on the campus of Redacted, because they'll often either say redacted or actually include little black blocks to redact.
To not reveal where it is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because again, creepypastas are internet horror, so it's sort of lending that degree of credibility.
Well, not just that, but, like, you could even say if this is a, like, government thing, that they don't want people to go over there and try to find it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. All right. So it's located on a redacted campus. The doorway leading to SCP-087 is constructed of reinforced steel with an electro-release lock mechanism. It has been disguised to resemble a janitorial closet consistent with the design of the building. The lock mechanism on the doorknob will not release unless redacted volts are applied in conjunction with counterclockwise rotation of the key. The inside of the door is lined with 6 centimeters of industrial foam padding. Due to the results of the final exploration, see document 087-IV, no personnel are permitted access to SCP-087. Description: SCP-087 is an unlit platform staircase. Stairs descend on a 38-degree angle for 13 steps before reaching a semicircular platform of approximately 3 meters in diameter. Descent direction rotates 180 degrees at each platform. The design of SCP-087 limits subjects to a visual range of approximately 1.5 flights, so you can't really see too far down. A light source is required for any subjects exploring 087, as there are no lighting fixtures or windows present. Lighting sources brighter than 75 watts have been shown to be ineffective, as SCP-087 seems to absorb excess light. So it's a creepy dark staircase.
Yeah, I hate that it's unlit.
Subjects' reports and audio recordings confirm the distressed vocalizations from what is presumed to be a child between the ages of redacted and redacted.
Oh, okay. Don't even want to say what ages the kid is.
I mean, it's 1 block and what looks like maybe 2 or 3 blocks, so who knows? I think it might be like 3 and 10 or something like that. TBD. Redacted. The source of the distress calls is estimated to be located approximately 200 meters below the initial platform.
That's
a long
way.
It's a long way. However, any attempts to descend the staircase have failed to bring subjects closer to the source. The depth of descent is calculated from Exploration 4. The longest exploration is shown to be far beyond both the possible structure of the building and geological surroundings.
Oh.
At this point, it is unknown if SCP-087 has an endpoint.
Probably not.
SCP-087 has undergone 4 video-recorded exploration by Class D personnel. Each subject conducting the exploration has encountered SCP-087-1, which appears as a face with no visible pupils, nostrils, or mouth.
Oh.
The nature of SCP-087-1 is entirely unclear, but it has been determined that it is not the source of the bleeding. Subjects exhibit feelings of intense paranoia and fear when faced with SCP-087-1, but it is undetermined whether said feelings are abnormal or simply natural reactions.
Okay. Is this SCP the staircase or the weird face? Or is the weird face and the staircase seemingly the same being?
So, 087 is the staircase.
Yes.
087-1 is the face.
Got it.
Yeah. And there's a real creepy thing.
Oh, God.
Of what they're calling the enhanced thing of the face. Yeah, it's...
I'm putting that in the show notes, but...
Okay, I will send you this link.
You're at your own risk, swipe.
Yeah, yeah. Addendum: over a period of 2 weeks following Exploration 4, several members of staff and students from the redacted campus reported knocking at a variable rate of 1 to 2 seconds per knock coming from the interior of SCP-087. The door leading to SCP-087 has been fitted with a 6 centimeter thick industrial padding. All reports of knocking have ceased. And the interesting part of the extended universe of SCPs is that they have document 087-1, document 087-2, all in Roman numerals, 087-3, and data expunged. So, in universe, the results of Exploration 4 have been expunged.
Oh.
But, I just opened the link for 087-3. Exploration 3. D9884's 23-year-old female of average build and appearance. Psychological background indicates a history of depression. Describes the person going down, equipped with a 75-watt flood lamp with a battery power capable of lasting 24 hours, handheld camcorder, all of that kind of thing. And then it's a transcript. They stands on the ground level. Flood lamp illuminates only the first 9 steps. LED lights placed on the wall during the last exploration are not visible. Doctor redacted.
Oh.
Please descend the first flight and examine the landing wall. Says she does, and then so that's what's part of the extended universe.
Showing. It's basically like Paranormal Activity, and then they have the second one or something, or the third one, I forgot, where it's them as kids, and then you see everything that happened leading up to the original.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's creepy. That one's real creepy.
Yeah. I hate that it's just on some college campus somewhere.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I would say, so theoretically, if somebody could access it, although they make it seem like it's very hard to.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like maybe you have to have the skeleton key and turn it. Yeah.
Do you think skeleton key would work on that?
I
think
mean,
it works on SCPs.
I don't know. They haven't tried it. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. Who knows?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was one of the first ones that I had heard of.
Yeah. No, it sounded very, I mean, I had remembered it when you started saying it.
Yeah.
But it's almost creepier now. I think just because I feel like when you're hearing things just like you know, because Kayla used to put like a few in one video.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to just kind of like sit and think about it.
Yeah.
But now that we're just like sitting and thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, it's so creepy. As soon as you said an unlit stairwell, I was like, I hate that it's dark.
Yeah. So.
And the fucking face. I didn't remember the face.
Yeah. Well, I don't think she got into the face.
Oh my God.
But I did find one that was Keter class, which is the highest one.
Jeez. Cthulhu.
SCP-3063.
Cthulhu is also an SCP. Sorry.
I'm sure it is. SCP-3063. A fly.
A fly?
Like the insect.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very confused as to how that would be Keter class.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, it's Editing Lisa here. I just wanted to go ahead and do a trigger warning up top for this one for a whole lot of body horror. If you don't like the idea of something laying eggs in the human body, skip this one. Okay, bye.
Item number SCP-3063, Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Newly discovered SCP-3063 manifestations are to be reported immediately and destroyed as soon as possible by whatever means are appropriate. All Foundation buildings and the residences of all the Foundation personnel are to be equipped with the most effective insect control measures available. At no point should personnel ever interact with or acknowledge SCP-3063 manifestations outside of immediately destroying said manifestation. Any Foundation personnel or civilian individuals known or suspected to have made an agreement with SCP-3063 are to be immediately contained in the nearest Foundation facility equipped with appropriate containment facilities until the event of said individual's death.
Made an agreement? Is this like a little demon fly?
Maybe. Once the affected individual has died, their remains are to be incinerated along with any organisms that may have emerged from them during their containment. Individuals affected by SCP-3063 do not require food or other external attention, and under no circumstances are they to be removed from containment while alive. If affected individuals are unable to be contained for any reason, every effort should be made by the Foundation operatives to kill said individuals before the event of their natural death. If this is impossible, or if affected individuals are not discovered until their deaths, Mobile Task Force Beta 5 is to enact Procedure 18 Islip.
What? Procedure 18 what?
Islip.
Islip?
Yeah. Like the letter I and then SLIP.
Oh my God.
So, given that,
what is islip?
What do you think?
What is islip?
I don't know what it's the procedure that you use.
I know. I'm so concerned.
Given that, what do you think SCP-3063 is?
It's a little evil fly, like a freaking Lucifer fly or something that makes deals with people and stuff, right? No?
It is a telepathic Class 5 reality-bending entity. SCP-3063 immediately manifests as a physiologically non-anomalous male housefly, Musca domestica. It is currently believed that only one manifestation of 3063 exists at any given time, but this is yet to be confirmed. Manifestations are to be considered destroyed when they have sustained damage that would be sufficient to kill a non-anomalous housefly, after which SCP-3063 will manifest elsewhere on Earth. No manifestation event has been observed as of yet, and it is not currently known whether 3063 manifests as an entirely new individual housefly or simply inhabits the body of an existing housefly.
So even if you kill it, it's just gonna reincarnate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
also, how do they know which fly it is?
Because that's part of the thing.
It's the thing. There's so many flies around.
All 3063 manifestations operate with a single goal, namely, making an agreement with an individual. The terms of such agreement vary greatly, but almost always involve 3063 promising an individual any single thing that they greatly desire in exchange for an unspecified price. Such offers have included large sums of money, the love of other individuals, political power, and reality-bending ability.
Jeez.
It is hypothesized 3063 reads the thoughts of the target to tailor an offer specific to them. 3063 refuses to discuss anything other than the terms of its agreement.
So, do you think it reads people's minds, or do you think it's just a fly on the wall?
Ayo. All right. To be fair, that is part of the point of a lot of these is just like, what's an innocuous thing that you could potentially have a terrible backstory for?
Exactly. Innocuous evil fly.
Yes. And if an individual accepts the terms of agreement, SCP-3063 manifestation will immediately combust and die, at which point the individual will receive what they were promised.
Oh.
If an individual does not accept, 3063 will continue to tempt them with larger and larger offers, until either the individual accepts or the manifestation is destroyed. If a manifestation is destroyed, successive manifestations will continue to contact the individual until they consent to the agreement. After a period of 2,376 days from the moment an agreement with 3063 is made, affected individuals will undergo a process as detailed below.
Oh, God.
So, how many years is that? It's like a lot.
It's like a chaos fly, because it like dies when it makes an agreement, but then it manifests again.
It's like 6.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's sort of is monkey paw the right one? Where it's a wish, but you don't know what the consequences are going to be.
I once did a reading of that for my, I was in an English literature club. Yeah. And we had like a Halloween little event.
Nice.
And I read Monkey's Paw.
Nice.
But, I was going to say something else, but I forgot.
So, they're going to undergo...
So this happens to them whether or not they actually do the agreement?
If they say no, it's going to keep showing up until they say yes.
Got it.
And if they manage to kill the fly, it'll reincarnate as another fly and come back.
Yeah.
If they do say yes, 6.5 years later.
Got it.
6.5 years later, they're going to go through a process which includes...
This is Editing Lisa again. This is your final warning about body horror.
Fertilized eggs, representing virtually all known species of the order Diptera, will spontaneously appear within the lungs, throat, stomach, intestines, sinuses, ear canals, rectum, urethra, and muscle tissues of the affected individual.
No.
The number of such eggs typically ranges from 5,000 to 20,000. The eggs will hatch naturally, and the resulting maggots will begin consuming tissues of the affected individuals for between 3 and 14 days in order to escape the body.
Body horror.
Right?
Oh my god.
When this period has elapsed, the maggots will pupate and lie dormant. Within 2 to 6 days, pupae will emerge as adult imago flies.
Gross.
Which is the final stage in the life cycle of metamorphosing in insects. Newly emerged flies will continue consuming their host and breeding with each other until the host has sustained sufficient damage and dies. So you're not dead.
How would the host even be alive at that point?
Who knows? This typically takes between 1 and 5 weeks and has been known to produce upwards of 50 million individual flies.
And are these evil flies or just normal flies? Or does it not say?
It doesn't say. When the affected individual has died, the remaining flies will cease reproducing and enter a state of dormancy, during which they will eventually starve and die. A new manifestation of 3063 will appear shortly after the death of the affected individual. Affected individuals will remain conscious for almost the entirety of this process, resulting in great distress. Roughly 70% of affected individuals will attempt suicide during this process. Flies generated during the process have been determined to be entirely non-anomalous. Oh, so it's not. It's just a regular fly.
I hate that it says that they attempt, which means they can't.
Yeah. If the affected individual dies during any point in this process, or during the preceding 6.5 years, the process will stop and the flies will die. No known method of averting this process other than the death of the individual has been discovered.
Okay.
To date, 6 Foundation personnel have been contacted by SCP-3063, and attempts have been made to alter the terms of the agreement to entrap 3063 into neutralizing itself, though none have met with success.
So they're just like sacrificing their own at this point.
Yeah. And they have like a partial log of such attempts. A log of attempts to entrap it into neutralizing. And like one is the parameters are the death of 3063. Like if you kill this iteration result, it combusts, and the person doing the test will still get all of the eggs 6.5 years later. In potential interpretation, 3063 apparently interprets its death as the death of a manifestation. So it can keep going. The manifestation as in like this one fly body.
Yeah.
So it's like one contract per body. Test number 2, the parameter was permanent containment of 3063. And it seems like such terms of agreement seem to extend only to 3063's current manifestation.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then once it died, it was like, well, I'm free now.
Yeah. So again, but it's that one. And it says 3 months after this tester's death, another iteration is confirmed. Another test was a permanent cessation of all activities of 3063. Results identical to those of test number 1. It views its death, the death of that one body, as like terms reset when it's born again. Is what it seems to be.
Got it.
And like according to all of the tests, it seems to think that any sort of parameters cease upon the death of one body or another.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's not contained in any way.
Correct. It is believed to be in operation for at least 4,000 years, as the earliest known records of entities and events matching the descriptions have been discovered in early Canaanite settlements. Assuming an approximate constant rate of activity, this equates to approximately 615 agreements made. It is entirely possible that 3063 has been in operation for considerably longer, and Foundation archaeological teams are currently searching for earlier recordings of events that would indicate as such.
Oh my god.
And since you were curious about what procedure iSlip 18 was, and in the event of the death of uncontained individuals due to SCP's effects, the mobile task Beta 5 is to mobilize and administer said individuals with 90 grams of cypermethrin, which is a highly potent synthetic pyrethroid insecticide.
Oh.
Additional cypermethrin is to be sprayed within a 10-meter radius of the affected individual. After the individual and any generated flies have died, remains are to be incinerated. Any civilian witnesses are to be given a regimen of Class A amnestics, causing amnesia. And the area is to be closed to civilians for no less than 30 days under the pretense of a non-specific toxic spill.
Damn.
Yeah.
They shoot them with insecticide.
Basically. I mean, they're basically already dead, so it's killing the flies. Yeah. So, those are
those were creepy.
Those are creepy indeed. Again, there's literal thousands at this point. If you go to the SCP homepage.
My favorite one is still the never-ending IKEA.
Yeah. 3008, the brief summary of that is an IKEA store with an interior that contains a seemingly infinite labyrinthine pocket dimension designated as SCP-3008-1. And so some of them are very horrific, but some of them are like...
Well, that's still horrific.
That one has like capacity to be horrifying. I'm just glancing at the Wikipedia real quick. And
I love IKEA though.
Yeah. Same.
Keep going.
But 426 is a toaster that can only be referred to in the first person.
In the first person?
Like I.
What if you're referring to it? You say I as if you are the toaster?
Yeah. Special containment procedures. I am to be sealed in a chamber with no windows through which I may be viewed.
Nah.
The door to my chamber must have a label.
If you don't use I, you die. Also,
that's a good question. So if you want the full reading of 3008, you should donate to the Patreon because that'll come up.
Also, we have a lot of other fun goodies on Patreon.
Yeah. It has not been updated as much as it should be the last month or two because life is chaos.
It's peak season right now.
Yeah.
And once we're done with peak season, I'm going to get my ass in gear.
Yeah. I'm going to get my ass in gear.
Work on that social media and all that jazz.
Yeah. We'll be able to do things a little bit more. By the time this episode is coming out, I'll be on like my second to last trip of peak season. So which one's your favorite? I still like the staircase one.
That was so creepy.
That one is so creepy. But I also would love to have a skeleton key.
But would you?
That's true. That's true.
I feel like horror things might follow.
That's true.
I feel like
but they haven't trained it.
Any person with too much power.
Yeah, that is true.
Has the capability to slide down a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, don't do the monkey's paw of engaging with 3063.
Don't look for demon flies.
Yeah,
don't listen to them.
So, donate to the Patreon, patreon.com/drearymidnight if you want the full story for 3008. We follow us on Instagram at Dreary Midnight Pod. If you have a favorite creepypasta or SCP entry, send us an email, drearymidnightpodcast@gmail.com. And once again, don't make deals with flies. And safe travels home on this dreary midnight. Good night.
Good night.